Everyone in the school knew what had happened to Mr. Tunde, but no one dared speak of it. The young teacher had walked into the staff room one sunny morning, bright and full of life. By evening, he was found trembling under his desk, eyes wide with fear, lips muttering something about a long, scaly tail, and eyes that weren't human. He was transferred to a mental hospital the next day. No one ever mentioned Miss Nene's name, but they all knew. They always knew. Miss Nene wasn't just beautiful, she was striking. Her steps were silent, her scent unforgettable, and her voice carried a strange calm that could hush even the most unruly students. She joined Royal Pride Academy at the beginning of a new session, and from her very first week, the school was never the same again. She wore long, flowing skirts that brushed the floor like a shadow. Her eyes were deep, dark, and almost hypnotic. Whenever she looked at someone for too long, they would blink rapidly and look away, as if caught doing something wrong. At first, the school management adored her. Mr. Daniels, the principal, couldn't stop praising her in meetings. "She's the kind of teacher we've been waiting for," he would say, beaming. Parents started requesting her as their children's class teacher. Even the school director, a hard, no-nonsense woman named Mrs. Okeke, started calling Miss Nene my special jewel. But behind her gentle smile and soft-spoken nature, something else was brewing. One night, the security guard, Musa, heard hissing sounds near the staff quarters. Thinking it was a snake, he grabbed his torchlight and went to investigate. He found nothing, but the next morning, Musa quit his job without warning. When asked why, he simply said, "There's something in that staff room that is not of this world. I know if it stay." Soon, strange things started happening. Mr. Aide, a senior teacher and former favorite of the principal, started complaining about bad dreams. "She was in the dream," he whispered to another teacher. "Her eyes turned yellow, and she had a forked tongue." People laughed it off, until he collapsed during a lesson and was taken to the hospital. He resigned a week later. Miss Nene, on the other hand, continued to rise. She was promoted to head of her department, then put in charge of special projects. She had her own office, with a private entrance and tinted windows. She began arriving late and leaving whenever she liked. No one questioned her. Those who tried either fell ill mysteriously, were transferred, or quietly resigned. It was a cleaner named Joy who first saw it. One evening, she went into Miss Nene's office to clean, thinking the teacher had gone home. The door creaked open slowly, and what she saw made her drop her mop and run. Miss Nene wasn't human. Joy swore she saw her lower body stretch and coil like a python. Her skin shimmered like scales under the moonlight from the window. And there was a snake, a massive black one, coiled on the chair beside her, watching her closely. Joy never returned to work. She left town completely, and her family refused to speak about her to anyone. Mr. Daniels, the principal, started acting strange. He would forget meetings, repeat himself, and sometimes just stare into space with a silly smile on his face. When a colleague joked about him being under a spell, he snapped. "Don't you ever talk about her like that again." It became clear that he was no longer in control. Miss Nene was. She started changing the school rules. Dress codes became stricter, especially for female teachers. Male staff members were suddenly transferred or sacked without clear reasons. Everything seemed to revolve around Miss Nene now. Students who misbehaved in her class often came out pale, shivering, or oddly silent. Some even transferred to other schools. But when asked, they could never explain why. It was an old teacher, Madame Aretti, who finally spoke up. She had been at Royal Pride Academy for over 15 years and had seen many strange things, but nothing like this. "She is not ordinary," she told a group of staff members in a hushed tone. "Her kind has existed for centuries. A woman who carries the spirit of the snake, she uses charm, manipulation, and fear. But if you cross her, the spirit shows its true face. But by then, it was too late. One afternoon, a team from the Ministry of Education came for a surprise inspection. As they walked into the school, one of the officials, a tall, bold woman, insisted on speaking with all staff individually. When it was Miss Nene's turn, the woman entered the office alone. She never came out. The rest of the team waited for over an hour. When they finally forced the door open, they found the woman lying on the floor, cold and stiff, with a look of sheer horror on her face. That day, Miss Nene disappeared. No one saw her leave, no camera caught her on the school premises, and no taxi drivers remembered giving her a ride. It was as if she had vanished into thin air. Aftermath: Royal Pride Academy never recovered. Parents withdrew their children, staff left in fear, and the school was eventually shut down. The building still stands, quiet and empty, with vines creeping over its walls. Some say you can still hear hissing sounds around the staff room at night. And sometimes, just sometimes, passers-by claim to see a woman in a long skirt standing by the gate, her eyes glowing faintly in the dark. No one knows where Miss Nene went. Some believe she returned to the river to serve the snake spirit that gave her power. Others say she simply moved to another city, another school, starting all over again. But everyone agrees on one thing. If you ever meet a teacher who's too charming, too perfect, and too powerful for her own good, be careful. Look closely at her eyes. And whatever you do, don't fall in love. Here are 10 relatable moral lessons drawn from the story of Miss Nene, the teacher with the snake spirit. 1. Not all that glitters is gold. People who seem perfect on the outside may be hiding dangerous secrets. 2. Power gained through dark means never lasts. Using evil or unnatural powers for personal gain eventually leads to destruction. 3. Charm can be a weapon. Be careful who you admire or trust blindly, especially when their influence seems unnatural. 4. Silence can be dangerous. When people choose fear over truth, evil grows stronger. 5. Beware of unchecked favoritism. Overpraising one person while ignoring warning signs can ruin institutions. Spiritual battles are real. Not all struggles are physical. Some are deeply spiritual and must be handled with discernment. 7. Stand for what's right, even when it's risky. Like Madame Moretti, those who speak the truth may be the only hope in dark times. 8. Knowledge is protection. Understanding the unseen world helps you avoid traps and stay spiritually alert. 9. When fear controls people, evil wins. Courage and unity are needed to confront hidden threats. 10. Every action has consequences. Those who use others for selfish purposes often find themselves alone in the end.